Hello everyone, my name is Shubhajit and today we are at the fourth video of useState problem solving series. Today we will be discussing something related to updating arrays in case of state. So with the help of useState, uh, we will be updating the arrays on some event. So it is a new thing and you will learn a lot. So let's get started. Before that, before that, I want you to learn about the use state hook. The video is already present in our channel, so you can just go and look at the basics of that. It's just a 5-minute video. I will put it in the description. It will be super easy. Then you can come here and continue. Yeah, okay. Let me explain you the shopping cart component. So we have a products array here, which we have defined with the help of useState hook. So this products array is basically a state variable. Okay, so whenever the products array changes, this whole component will be re-rendered. That we have understood from our previous videos. Okay, now whenever this products component change, this whole component re-renders. And why it re-renders? Because it is using the products component here, products.map product, and then in each of the product we have, this is the list. Okay, so I will not go much into this UI, but I can tell you basically we are actually mapping the products, like we are going to each and every product in the products array, and for each of them we are actually creating a list. Inside that list we will define the product's name, products count, and we will have a button on with which whenever the button is clicked we have an handle increase. So this function actually we need to implement. So we need to implement this function. Okay, this is our task. So whenever this button is clicked, it will actually increase the uh, product count of that particular product on our whichever we are clicking, because you can see that we are mapping over the array products.map, that for each product there is a button which can increase the count of that product, and that's why we are passing the product ID. You can see the product ID here inside the handle increase function. So this product ID will help us to identify that product which we need to increase. You also need to see that this product's the initial product's value from the useState variable that is actually defined here, const initial products. So this initial products array has actually 3 objects. This first one with name baklava, the second one with name cheese, and third one with the name spaghetti. Okay. Okay, so let me also show you the UI, how it looks like. We refresh this. You can see the name, the count, and also a button, cheese count button, spaghetti count button. That's what we have shown for each of the products on the UI. Now whenever we click on this plus button, it should increase from 1 to 3 like that. Okay, that is our task, which we need to actually implement the handle increase method here. Handle increase click. So we see that the handle increase click is happening, and we have been given the product ID. Okay, the product ID is actually this product.id, which is actually this for the product, this of the product. So ID 0, ID 1, ID 2. Okay, these are the product. So we have the product ID. Now you guys should actually think what, how can we actually change this whichever product ID is given. So basically let's say the product ID 2 is given. Okay, so this product ID is given. We actually want to change that products count from 2 to 2 plus 1, that is 3. That is our basic task. Let's say the product ID given is 1, which we have clicked. We have to increase the count from 5 to 6, incrementing it by 1. How can we do that? Also, keeping in mind the best practices of use state in React. Okay, So for this, the first thing which is coming to my mind, which is simple, is creating a new products array. Okay, creating a new products array, right? New products array, and in with the spread operator, with this triple dot, uh, products. Okay, so this products is actually the state variable products. So now the whole products array, a copy is made inside the new products. Now we can change the new products and we can then set the products with these new products. But we have to increment the new products, this product IDs count. Okay. Okay. We also need to find out the index of that. Const index is equals to index of what? We also need to find the index of the object, index of the object whose product ID is given in the array. In the whole products array, we need to find the actual index which we need to change the count, right? Okay, let me do this and then I will tell you what I am actually telling, because here if you see ID 0, ID 1 and ID 2, they are in order, the same as the index 0. This is the 0th element, this is the index 1 element, and this is the index 2 element. The ID and index are same here, but that will not be the case everywhere. It might also happen. Okay, so this is ID 0, right? This can be ID 1, right? This can be ID 0 and this can be ID 1. That is also possible. That is also possible. You have to understand that. That is also possible. In that case, index is not equals to the product's ID. So for that, we have to find the index on which we need to make the change. So const index is equals to uh, products dot find. Okay, so it gives me the suggestion. So in JavaScript, we have a find index on an array, find index method provided on an array. So with this, we can actually um, find the index whenever this part actually returns true. Product dot id double is equals to product id. So what I'm doing here is the product id is passed, right? Let's say the product id of 0, product id of 1 is passed. Okay, so when the product id of 1 is passed, what the index will be storing is products dot find index. So this will actually traverse over the whole products array. It will then, for each of the product, see that product dot id, that is products this id, whenever it is equal to this product id, whatever is passed, let's say 1 is passed. So in this case, this will be matched because the id is 1 and the product id which is passed is also 1. So what is the index of this object? The index of this object is 1. I have also explained to you earlier, it might not be 1 if this id 1 is present here and if this id 2 is present here. If this id 1 is present here, then the index would have been 2. Then the index would have been 2. That you should understand. Okay, now I'm reverting this. Okay, so what it will return, if this product id is 1, for now it will be returning index as 1 only. Okay, so we got the index 1 and now we know key new products index we need to change to what? We basically want to new products index dot count plus is equals to 1. This is what we need to do. This is not what we need to. Plus is equals to 1. If someone doesn't understand, it means that new products index count will be incremented by 1. So this was the whole new products, this index, that is index 1, that is this object's count should be incremented by 1, that is from 5 to 6. Okay, Now we have written a generalized code, so whatever the product ID is, its count will be incremented by 1 in this case. And we need to set the products to this new products after making the changes. I hope you have understood this. Let us see. Plus, can you see that we are able to increase by clicking? This is what we want to achieve. I don't want to end the video here. I also want to explain you one more method, uh, which is with the help of similar to which is this map method, where JavaScript provides us with a map method on arrays, with the help of which we can actually traverse the arrays. Okay. So let's say const new products is equals to, we should understand that whenever we do a map on an array, it actually returns us a new array after making the changes. It will not change the products array at all. It will not change the array on which we are applying the dot map function. It will actually create a new array and it will return, and that will be stored inside the new products. I will show you how. Products dot map. Okay, now products dot map, we are mapping over the product, and for each we are mapping over the products array, and for each product what we want to see. I highly recommend to learn this arrow function in JavaScript. Okay, what it does and how it is helping us here, how I am using this so smoothly. Just learn about it. You will get any documentation, good documentation about it, and you will be ready to go. It's not that hard to understand. Okay, so for each product, what we are doing is, okay, what we want to achieve. Just imagine that, what we want to achieve. So we have the products array, we are mapping over that for each product. Okay, for each product, what we want to do, whenever my products ID, this ID is equal to the product ID which is passed, I want to increment the count of that product by 1. You are sure, right? And if that product ID is not equals to product.id, this product.id is not equals to product ID which is passed, I don't want to do anything. I just want to return the object as it is. I just want to return the product as it is. So let's do that. So if product.id, so we are mapping over each of the products, and each of the product is this. So each of the product we are mapping. So if the product.id is double is equals to the product ID which is passed inside these parameters, in that case we need to increment the count of that product by 1. We want to increment the count by 1, right? So what we will do, we will return the object which actually contains the same product, but the count will be incremented by 1. Hope you have understood this. If you have seen my previous videos on use state best practices and use state problem solving, the first 3 problems, if you have seen, you will understand them very easily. So we have this product.count plus 1, and yeah, this is it. But the task is not complete yet. But if it is not, if the product.id is not equals to the product ID, then in else condition we'll just return the product. The product which is coming, will just return that. We don't want to do anything else. We just want to do something that is incrementing the count when the product ID matches with the product.id, and that we have done. In that case, we are returning this object with the same parameters as that product, but the count is incremented by 1. That's it. Okay, this works. So this is actually with the help of map function, and then we will just do this set products to new products. Okay, done. Let's see it in action. Let me refresh this. Pressing the plus button. Okay, same functionality as we have with the previous code. It's happening. Nice and good. Okay. Okay. Uh, I actually want to add a little bit more complexity to this function. And what is that? That is actually, yeah, just we have the handle increase click, this button. I want to have handle decrease click, handle decrease click on the product ID. Okay, so how will the handle decrease click look like? So handle decrease click is something like, let me actually create that handle decrease click. Handle decrease click, and okay, this one. Okay, so handle decrease click has this, and it also takes the product ID. Okay, product ID. Okay, so yeah, we have the same structure as that, and yeah, let me show you the UI how it looks like. Then okay, this has to be changed to minus. Okay, so hope you are able to understand this, but on clicking it, it should be decrementing. So that's pretty much normal, right? We can just copy paste the code here. Okay, yeah, control C and control V. Okay, so we will copy paste the code here, product, and we will just make this to -1. One more thing I want to add is, whenever the value reaches 0, it should not be decremented from that, because negative items is not at all necessary, right? So how can we handle that? How can we handle that? So we can handle that. So inside the if condition, when the product ID is double equals to product ID, then we are going inside and decrementing the count by 1, right? We can add an if condition here only, that okay, the product ID is double equals to the product dot ID, but also we need to check before decrementing the count, that is the product count greater than 0. Whenever it is greater than 0, then only go inside and decrement the count. In that case, whenever it is 0, we will not go inside that. So let me see that in action. It's refreshed, minus, on clicking it, it is not going below that. Okay, not going. Plus is happening, but it's not going. So I hope you have understood this. Okay, yeah, that's all for this video. Thanks a lot, guys. If you have any doubts, let me know in the comment section. I would be happy to answer them. Thank you.